Hello and welcome to the Luv Doc podcast with hosts Waldo Wachewski and Ophelia Bruschi.
Today we are wading into a classic relationship fight, but one that, let's just say it spirals pretty quickly.
It really does. Our mission today starts with a gift-buying problem. But the Luv Doc was just so insistent. They said this little fight is just a scab.
A scab covering what they fear is a much deeper malaise. And that's our goal, really, to pick at that scab.
So is this just one bad fight, or is it a symptom of a total system breakdown? We're diving into a submission from a reader who calls herself not feeling generous.
And her problem on the surface seems pretty straightforward. She got into a huge fight with her boyfriend of 11 years.
11 years. We'll come back to that.
Oh, we will?
Yeah.
The fight was about buying a 75th birthday gift for his mother.
It sounds so mundane, but the details are what make this whole thing pop.
They really are.
So for more than a decade, she has handled this. She buys the gift. She signs both their names. She's been the social secretary for his family.
And she makes this really painful point in her letter. She says she's been doing this since, quote, we weren't even related.
Ugh. That just lands with a thud. That is a lot of emotional labor.
A ton. But this year is different. It's Mom's 75th. It's a big one. So the reader wanted him, to finally step up.
Right. To take some initiative and buy something personal, something that actually came from him.
To finally own the relationship with his own mother.
And his reaction is, well, it's where this whole thing goes from a simple annoyance to a massive red flag.
He immediately put up that classic shield, right? I'm bad at buying gifts. I don't know what she wants.
Yeah.
Pure learned helplessness.
Which is frustrating, for sure. But it gets worse.
It gets so much worse. He didn't just avoid it. He got angry. Genuinely angry.
And accused her, get this, of trying to make him look bad to his sisters.
Well.
Right. And that is the moment. That's when you know this is not about a gift. It's about some deep-seated avoidance, a fear of, performance or something.
And the Luv Doc saw that immediately. They basically refused to even talk about the gift, which launches us right into our first segment.
This is where the elephant in the room just sits right down on the couch.
The Luv Doc just completely brushes the gift problem aside. They insisted on talking about the relationship timeline first.
Their reaction was so visceral. They basically said, hold on. Your boyfriend of 11 years, how is that even a thing?
Exactly. That timeline is what turns this from a little problem into a huge structural one.
The whole premise from the Luv Doc is that after a decade, the word boyfriend just doesn't work anymore.
It's useless. It's like a relationship fossil. It signals that someone is refusing to make a choice.
And the Luv Doc offered some pretty pointed alternatives.
They did. They suggested she could call him her commitment phobe, or, even more bluntly, the guy who absolutely refuses to marry me.
But the one they coined, the acronym, that's the one that really captures it.
DCCB?
DCCB, the deeply committed cock blocker.
Wow. Yeah. It's intense.
It is.
Yeah.
It suggests he is committed, but only to, blocking the relationship from moving forward. He's just occupying the space.
That's it. And the Luv Doc really doubles down on this with some pretty biting humor. They ask if the couple is, just into paying extra taxes.
Right, because by staying boyfriend and girlfriend, they're basically trying to act like you're single. It's just, oof.
And the detail that really got me was about the high school reunions.
Oh, yeah.
The Luv Doc asks if she's attended, 2 high school reunions with the same boyfriend. Think about that. Whole eras of your life go by and this one thing is just stuck.
It's frozen in amber.
Yeah.
And that's the connection, right? The relationship paralysis is directly linked to the gift paralysis.
Yes. The Luv Doc says, I'm not wasting a second on this $100 gift problem until we address the giant systemic issue.
It forces her and you, the reader, to see that the indecision over a small thing, a present,
is just a tiny version of the massive indecision, the future of the relationship. It's a fractal problem.
And the analogy they used was just perfect.
How long does he take at Baskin-Robbins?
Right. If you can't make a life-altering choice in a decade, of course you're going to freeze up over an ice cream sample or a gift for your mom.
The actual muscle for making a choice just hasn't been developed.
Which I think is the perfect transition into the psychology of it all. Let's move past the timeline critique and get into the why.
Okay, so we're looking at his refusal to buy the gift and his anger as symptoms, not the actual problem.
So what is it? What's the deeper malaise that the Luv Doc points to?
The Luv Doc thinks this isn't about him being lazy or, a bad person. It's coming from a psychological block. They call it a selection crisis.
A selection crisis, meaning the act of choosing is just too hard for him right now.
Exactly. It's too draining. It's too risky in his mind. So avoidance and then anger when he's pushed becomes the default.
Because she's forcing him into this place of, like, extreme discomfort.
Yes. And the Luv Doc gives us a few specific concepts that might be at play here. The first one is a big one. Analysis paralysis.
Okay, we've all heard that term, but break it down for us in this context. A birthday gift.
Sure. So analysis paralysis is when you can't make a decision because you're overthinking all the options. You're paralyzed by the fear of making the wrong choice.
For a 75th birthday, the options are endless.
Totally endless. And in his mind, the risk is huge. If it's too cheap, he's a bad son. If it's too personal, maybe he's showing up his sisters. He can't figure out the perfect move, so he freezes. The only safe choice is no choice at all.
That makes so much sense. But how do we know it's paralysis and not just, him being lazy, apathy?
That is a great question. And I think the key is the emotional reaction.
The anger.
The anger, exactly. Apathy is a shrug. This was a fight. He got defensive. He accused her of trying to make him look bad. That phrase tells you everything.
So it's not about the gift. It's about his social performance, the fear of being judged.
That's the core of it.
Holy crap. You're psychotically obsessed with the Luv Doc, but can't think of a flashy gauche way to share your obsession with the world? Stop thinking and make a beeline for the Luv Doc's home sweet home on the interwebs, thepleasurecraft.com, where you can find a veritable treasure trove of sick merch that will make even your coolest friends super gel. Honestly, I don't know why you didn't already think of this yourself, but you're welcome. Have fun on the Pleasure Craft. It was made just for you. Let me spell it out for you one more time. www.thepleasurecraft.com.
Okay, so the second psychological pillar here is decision fatigue.
This one feels really relatable.
It's so relatable. Think about your day. I mean, you make hundreds of tiny decisions before lunch. What to wear, what to eat, which email to answer first.
It's exhausting just listing them.
Right. Your mental energy for making choices is a finite resource. By the time this guy gets home and is hit with a high-stakes emotional problem, his mom's milestone birthday, the tank is empty.
He's mentally bankrupt.
He is. And his brain just defaults to the easiest path, which is avoidance. And if that doesn't work, conflict. Just to shut the requests down.
That's a much more charitable way of looking at it, actually.
It connects his daily grind to his relationship issues. And then there's a third related idea, situational crisis.
Which is about the pressure of the deadline, I'm guessing.
Yep. The pressure cooker is on, the birthday's coming up, the stress gets acute, and he just explodes.
And on top of all these real psychological concepts, the Luv Doc added their own very colorful diagnosis.
They did. They coined the term EDD.
EGAD, which stands for
Egregious Generalized Anxiety Disorder.
egregious.
They're careful to say that, GD is a very real, very serious condition. But the egregious part was definitely added for, let's say, dramatic flair.
To really capture the sheer absurdity of his decade-long avoidance.
Yes. And look, the point isn't to actually diagnose him from a letter.
Yeah.
It's to connect the dots for the listener.
Right.
The point is that his avoidance of this small choice, a gift, is almost certainly coming from his inability to face the huge 11-year-old choice.
Marriage. Commitment.
If you have this much paralysis over a $75 purchase, the life-altering relationship decision is basically insurmountable for you right now.
So the gift fight is just the tip of a giant decision paralysis iceberg.
And it tells not feeling generous that she's not dealing with a problem of love, really. She's dealing with a problem of agency.
Of adulthood.
Okay, let's pivot to the advice then. What does she actually do? Because the listener had already suggested some good ideas. She had. And the Luv Doc validated them. The Luv Doc's first idea was just have him ask his mom what she wants.
Such a simple solution.
The Luv Doc called it a splendid idea because communication saves so much time, right? It cuts right through the analysis paralysis.
Totally. It eliminates the risk of getting it wrong.
Right. And the Luv Doc has this hilarious contrast. Asking your mom is much better than, panicking and buying her a BMX bike.
And hoping she wants to train for the S Games in her remaining golden years.
Exactly. It's a perfect image of what happens when that paralysis just collapses into a wild, random guess.
So what about the Luv Doc's other idea? Asking the sisters.
That one's a bit more risky. The Luv Doc warns it could turn into a bad game of telephone. It just adds more layers, more gossip, more chances for him to feel judged.
Which is his main trigger.
So the core mission, the real advice, is that the DCCB just needs to do it himself.
He needs to, as the Luv Doc says, get in some reps on making choices and dealing with the consequences.
Ideally like an adult.
And then that snarky little observation that he must be an adult Unless they started hooking up when you were in kindergarten.
It just drives the point home. He is a grown man. He has to stop outsourcing his emotional responsibilities to his partner.
Which brings us to the final two-part strategy from the Luv Doc. And it is aggressive.
It is. The first part is simple. It's a boundary.
Don't give in.
Don't do it. Don't buy the gift like you always do.
Yeah.
If you bail him out now, you're just reinforcing the whole broken pattern. He has to face the consequence.
And the consequence is his mom gets nothing from him, and he has to explain why.
Precisely.
And then part two, this is where the Luv Doc takes the gift fight and the 11-year relationship problem and just smashes them together.
It's a shock tactic, a really masterful one. The advice is to just send him some links to expensive wedding rings and don't explain why.
No explanation, just links.
It's designed to force the two crises to collide. The immediate gift crisis meets the long-term commitment crisis head on.
But is that fair? Is it manipulative?
I think the Luv Doc sees it as a necessary escalation. After 11 years of passive waiting, what else is there?
That's a fair point.
The goal isn't to trick him into proposing. The goal is to use this fight about his commitment to his mother to force a conversation about his commitment to her.
It makes his 11-year indecision impossible to ignore anymore.
Right. If he's this upset about the implied commitment of a birthday gift, how can he possibly justify avoiding commitment to his partner for over a decade?
It's using the small pressure point to expose the huge vulnerability.
And it forces him to say something. Either he says, "Why are you sending these?" The conversation starts. Or he says, "I'm not ready for that," and she finally gets the clarity she's been missing for 11 years.
Either way, the stalemate is broken.
The inertia is broken.
So wrapping this all up, what's the big takeaway here for you, our listener? We started with a fight over a birthday present.
And we learned that a conflict like that is often just, a stress test. It reveals the deeper cracks in the foundation issues with decision-making, anxiety, and just the structure of the relationship itself.
His battle with analysis paralysis shows up in the small things, like buying a gift. But the root of it is what's holding him back from the big things, like marriage.
The central insight, I think, is that when you see a really outsized reaction, all that anger and avoidance over something small, you're probably looking at a mask for some other internal struggle.
That fight was never about the present. It was about his fear of judgment, his anxiety over making a choice.
And the knowledge you can take away is that when you see that kind of friction, that little argument that keeps happening over and over, you need to zoom out, look at the bigger pattern of how choices get made in that relationship.
That little scab is often the best clue you have that something much deeper and more complicated is hiding right under the surface.
And I think that brings us to our final thought, the quote from the Luv Doc that we want you to carry with you.
Yeah. Next time you find yourself in one of those small, stupid, recurring fights with anyone in your life, remember this idea.
I feel almost certain that if we pick at this stab long enough, we will uncover a much deeper malaise.
So ask yourself, what small disagreement in your life might be covering something up? What choice are you or someone you know really truly avoiding, and why? Thank you for listening to the Luv Doc podcast.
To read the column that spawned this podcast, go to austinchronicle.com/columns/the Luv Doc. There are probably worse things to do with your time, right?